would
looking.
also ask on the
They
speakers.
look very busy.
Okay, let's
So,
leave them to
they
their,
look very
their
busy
thing.
with their-
They're
they're
locked
all
Okay, let's
locked
not
in
bother
right now.
them.
This
But-
this game could define where they end up in the playoffs brackets,
You think?
or if they make it through, because it's more dire for Colombia. Colombia's already got one loss. Cambodia is coming into this with one win. This is urgent. This is significant bout they're about to go into.
I guess that's true because of the results from the other teams. Because they do want to get as many points as possible. So just to remind you guys at home that are watching, and even in the audience, this group stage is actually quite unique, right? In this group stage, we have 12 teams participating, all divided into two. So there's 6 teams in Group A,
Yep.
and there's 6 teams in Group B. Top 3 will be able to move forward, but here's the gist. Top 2 go to the upper brackets. Meanwhile, the third place in respective group goes to the lower bracket. So the playoffs will be a double elimination.
Yeah, and actually the interesting thing about our lower brackets is it's the 2 teams that end up in the lower bracket will not instantly face each other. They're going to be waiting for results in the upper bracket.
Yep, the
Yeah.
losers of each of those upper bracket matches.
Yeah. So in a way, it's still quite. You're still in a dire situation because you are essentially playing like one tournament life left. But then at least the teams in the lower bracket still would have had a shot to research and look at the rotations, the drafts of the teams that already competed in the upper bracket that they were waiting for. So in a way, it's a little bit more of a forgiving system. But then again, it's not like you're really punishing them for making third. They're still in the playoffs, but to like instantly punish them would have been a little bit too much. So I kind of like this system that we have here.
Yeah, but if we're talking about punishing, what do you think about a best of 1? Because would you not say that maybe luck is also involved in a best of 1?
Hey,
Like about the sides as well, side selection.
you're only afraid of your luck if you don't make your own luck. So
Facts.
you just play well.
But even so,
That was a bit too deep. That kind of rattled my
Yeah, me
brain.
too.
Not
I was
gonna lie,
thinking
not gonna
about it
lie.
a little bit.
I was just hit with like wisdom. I was just there like, whoa.
Yeah, no, you know the format, so you don't play the format. You play your best.
Yeah.
You don't risk it.
right.
So every single draft matters. Every single movement on the map matters.
But here's an argument. So far in this tournament, we've had a 60-40% win rate on each side. More so for red at 60-ish%. I don't know the updated stats, but that's what we saw for MLBB men's. In a best of 1, you get what I'm going with this?
So then it may have skewed the number.
No, your luck might come down to a coin flip.
Exactly.
Literally. Oh, that's why I mentioned. I get it. That is 100% true, especially with the side selection.
Preparedness is the
Yeah.
key. You just have a good draft for blue, have a good draft for red, and you study what your opponent's tendencies are either side.
Yeah, 100%. Like when it comes to best of 1s, it's really up to your team to just be ready for anything. Whether it's you guys have cheese picks, you have specific strategies that you will only do in a best of 1, shows your strength to the team because it's going to call for more. Because again, the longer you are in the tournament, the longer the series gets. So it becomes best of 3s, and then that's where you can really flex. Like, okay, we're not just a best of 1 squad, we're a best of 3 squad too.
So Fanny.
Nah.
Nah, I don't think.
Guys,
Team Mongolia, I think.
Fanny for Mongolia.
Where are we going?
I have no idea. But okay, let's talk about the drafts a little bit more. Speculation. Chip
Okay.
won't be let go, right? And I'm assuming that the Jushin will also be banned.
For sure. We
Chip
have
and
not
Jushin.
seen a Jushin at all yet. She's she is persona non grata so far for the women's squad. I'll just have to double check the stats though if someone was able to let her through in the series that weren't broadcasted. But from what I can tell so far, almost all, not literally all of the series that we've played today saw no Jushin played at all.
Yeah, someone banned it early in the first phase.
Yeah, we even got to see Sicilian before Jushin. Sana, Lilia, we've seen Cyclops.
So early.
Saw Cyclops twice.
Yeah, we did.
Sicilian's in the hero pool that we're going to be seeing here.
Yeah?
Colombia, Leah, she plays a Sicilian.
For both of them or for
For Leah.
Leah? Alright. Colombia, okay. Oh, the Sicilian factor. You know, I like it when teams have Sicilian as an option for them in the mid lane. Because again, as much as we want to think of Sicilian as like really just good for defending mid to late, he's so good at also controlling and being a pester. Once he gets his second die to power spike already.
Yeah, he's also high range.
Yeah. It's the high range, good crowd control. If you really cannot get to him, you're just gonna get bursted down after like the third bats feast. That's like, oh, it's Sicilian time. So hopefully that's something that can be leveraged by Colombia. Make sure that they have a good front line to peel and support for that Sicilian, so that eventually, if ever Cambodia do get their assassins, the Sicilian will still be well protected and can actually be quite punishing for a lineup that cannot get the Sicilian fast enough.
What else is on the board? Sicilian? Jushin should be banned out. The rest is quite straightforward. We've seen the Matilda.
Are we gonna see an Eve?
Ruby, Lolita, Eve. Oh, we haven't. I guess it hasn't been let go, right? It's always banned out in the first phase.
I think Eve actually. There's a chance, but teams, yeah, would prefer to ban it in the first phase now. Sometimes even like most of the bans we've seen on Eve, if I'm not mistaken, have been blue side, like blue 1 or blue 2.
Yep.
So has it taken first phase banning priority?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Or is this just specific to WEC MLBB Women's?
No, I think not Eve, because we also saw first phase blue side bans for Eve and the men's side. And then when open, teams would not hesitate or would really try to go for even the first phase on the red side. I think that's one of the reasons also why Eve gets banned out. It's just a strong first 2 picks on the red side that you can go for.
It's usually Jushin Eve on the
Let's go.
trade.
We're going to the drafts,
Oh.
ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
Oh,
we
Nobody
saw
wins.
Fanny.
Nobody wins.
We saw Fanny, but it got banned. But hey, you called it. You called it. You're the one who said it's Cambodia, it's Tagami, why not Fanny? And Colombia right away said no Fanny.
fine. Fine.
That was a great prediction to turn out.
Very sad though. Sad.
It's technically a
Sad.
prediction.
Yeah, it is a prediction.
Okay, Fanny gets banned out here from Colombia. Cambodia responded to Jushin, like we mentioned earlier on before. Wondering whether or not the chip will be let go, because there was a certain series that did let the chip go and nobody picked it up.
Yeah, it was the grand finals yesterday between Philippines and Malaysia for the men's side. I'm still leaning towards that chip will probably not get let go. Still gonna be banned. I think, wow, Assassins really is their focus. They're respecting the heck out of Tagami. I wouldn't be surprised if, actually no, I would be very surprised if suddenly it's also a Ling ban
Or a Nolan ban.
or an Olin ban. When they ban the Suyo.
Ooh, I like the mind games.
Yeah.
Alpha still on the board. Does Cambodia want to let that slide? Give it over to Colombia?
Yeah, if that's the case, what Tegami will do is pick the Nolan.
Yeah.
Let through the Alpha, pick the Nolan.
100%. I totally agree with that. Maybe Colombia, if it's not in their pool, they might want to ban out the Hilda. Or even a high loss for the third ban. Because when you're up against a team that's like way more experienced with you, those are like 2 heroes I don't want to face up against.
What about Matilda?
The Rome or the XP.
Matilda, Phobius.
If Colombia bans out the Matilda, that's quite dire, knowing that's them signaling they don't have that in their pool. So if they take out the Gacha instead, then that means they're going for a little bit more of a static presence in the back, traditional backline style of gold and mid laners.
This is where the chip comes in. If ever the chip will be banned.
See, I feel like Colombia's trying to call a bluff here. If Chip lets through and it gets first pick, that it's been a while.
Chip? Is it gonna be Chip? No, it's the Matilda!
Make my day.
Whoa, are you secretly a Colombia expert here? I don't know, the 2 picks that you hyped up or got taken out. First was the Fanny, then just the Matilda now gets taken away.
It's luck, bro.
It's
It's
it's not luck at this point.
Okay, first pick in for Colombia now. The Alpha still available,
Or the chip.
or the Chip.
Please, please.
But here's
El
the thing.
Chip.
Do all players have Chip in their hero pool?
Teams, you gotta consider because you play around this hero.
Yeah. I feel like they're also considering that, like, are there any... What if we pick up the Chip suddenly just now it gets hard countered?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why they go ahead and back the Hilda instead.
Oh, the alpha looks so juicy here.
Yeah, I feel like Colombia's anticipating that Cambodia might go for an assassin. The Hilda is really great into an assassin, really good pressure
Yeah.
into the jungle as well.
Not so good into the alpha.
Exactly, that's the problem though. But it's denying the assassin pick maybe.
So they'd rather deal with a Tagami alpha than a Tagami assassin.
Maybe they have an answer towards the alpha.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling too. Like for Colombia, like
Will
if
they
you're gonna-
Nolan?
They themselves can. Nah, but if that's the case, they're gonna need to rush the Aurora, the Vex. They need that good control in the mid already. That's
There
what
it
they're
is.
gonna go for.
I like how the high loss is also an instant answer to the possible Nolan.
Yeah,
Because you can just play woman-to-woman defense and just stop her.
nothing you can do about it. And again, we were mentioning that earlier when we were thinking of the bans for Colombia. That of course you'd rather, when you're going up against a way more experienced team, there are two heroes you don't want to go up against, Hilda and Hylos. Colombia decided to get the Hilda for themselves. Now they're up against the Hylos and the Alpha. The Aurora, I feel like 100% needs to get locked in here. They do need that extra control in the mid, extra little bits of poke damage. That will be good to whittling down on Hylos, which we saw also in the Cambodia series.
I agree. Either that
Oh, excuse me.
or Vexana.
Mongolia. series.
Mongolia.
Yeah.
So they go for.
Vexana.
Oh yeah, right. The Eve was left open. Eve and Carrie gonna be picked up by Colombia here.
Wow, each
And-
answering.
Yeah, this is also a huge comfort pick for Yuri Nakamaru.
We were talking about how the carry has seen better days. But here, when you're facing off against a Hylos and an Alpha, good pick. The answer by Cambodia, a box of their own, the Aurora.
This is why I wanted Colombia to get the Aurora for themselves, because that slots in so well with the high loss and alpha. It's even more so difficult. Yes, with Eve, we always think about the box. High loss does not care about the box. Not to say it's an instant hard counter 100%, but now look what's paired up with the high loss in the center of the map, the alpha and the Aurora. Although all throughout IESF, I have been quite cursed with saying, yeah, that will struggle, and then it turns out that pick doesn't struggle at all, and it goes so well. Like, everyone's always exceeded my expectations, which is a good thing. But I will preface this by saying, it looks like that Eve will not have a good time. That carry, though, might have a little bit of a better time, because Eve is going to be the thing standing in the way between her and going down.
But I'm worried about her laning phase.
Yeah, because we don't know what Cambodia's rocking here.
Yeah.
We don't know what Team Cambodia's gold laner will be picking up. But they have all of the incentive to actually beat down on this carry.
Yeah, if I'm Colombia, number one, take out the Claude, so and the or the Irithel. The Harith is also good too. You take out the Snowball first, so then you decide which gold laner you do not want to face just because it's good against the Eve. Is it the Claude or is it the Irithel?
Cambodia want to see Colombia pick up an assassin. They're blocking out all possibilities of utility. What else is out there? You pick the alpha yourself. You take out the X-Borg.
You know what's good against the Eve? Because he doesn't care about the box because he can just get out of it.
Against an Eve?
Liam Moore.
No, there's only
But there's an alpha.
Oh, right. Oh, I got
Your
way too
wishful
excited.
thinking has
Stop
fought
being
your
excited.
vision.
Because I feel like
What
he's
if that
getting
alpha
excited
goes-
for Bane for Colombia.
What if that alpha goes EXP, huh?
Bane?
Bane's actually pretty bad against Aurora.
Yeah, it's bad against Aurora, but you can space it out. I think it's not bad.
No.
The other thing that Talia has used in the jungle is the Martis.
I'm weirded out by the Marks.
Yeah.
Too chunky. The three picks for Cambodia right now are too chunky for the Martis to perform. So I think Cambodia here will save their gold laner for last.
I mean, either or. It's oh yeah, they don't need to rush it here. XP, roam, trade. Got it already gone. Ooh, huh?
Oh, they want to use the flex.
The full flex.
Full flex into the final pick for Cambodia.
Is that?
Technically, if they want to beat the Hilda in the EXP lane, they could still pick up something like the Uranus, right? Oh, but
rest of-
against carry?
The rest of it'll suck against the carry, yes.
Yeah.
But the rest of the lineup is fast enough to warrant the Uranus. But just don't let the carry get to the Uranus.
Yeah. I see that happening. That might actually play out.
The Colombian jungler, we still don't know.
What's gonna be the pick? Cactus, Bano, what else? Julia?
Nolan's still
I
out
wouldn't
there.
mind. I wouldn't mind
Exactly.
a Julian.
Nolan is still an option if they want to go for that.
But the Nolan is a hard stop. There's the Julian. Wow, been a while.
Oh,
Selena!
This is a Rome Selena.
Yeah.
Long time no see.
A Rome Selena against an Alpha Hylos Aurora.
Very risky. What's the target here, Bruno?
The Bruno, the Alpha, to stun him.
It could also just be like, hey, Selena, Julian, Eve, every time you see the Hylos or whatever, just throw out every magic crowd control you got and hope for the best. That's what it feels like. Oh, and it's a last pick. Oh no, the Tigreal was perfect. It was the perfect response.
Yep, Yui locking in the Tigreal. She's ready. She doesn't care if she has to catch arrows, but she will be in the heat of things.
If I'm just gonna say this, if Colombia win this game, it's on the back of an absolute Mackie God performance from Prime Mackie God.
And they're also going to be your queens.
Yeah, no, my
No, still Mongolia number one?
it's a Mongolian
Are you
number
sure? We
one,
haven't seen her
Mongolian
play.
number one. Actually, yeah, let's see. Let's see, who knows? Selena.
But the one thing that the Selena offers is also vision. So that's something that we do need to keep into consideration
And
too.
burst.
First.
It's burst unlike anything you've seen in the jungle.
Strong level.
Rather, in the
Rome.
Strong level 2 as well. Doesn't need level 4. Power spike.
Interesting.
And it forces your opponent's defensive profile to suddenly change. Like, you have to consider,
Yeah.
oh no, we need an Athena shield now.
And to be fair, the last times we've seen Selena popped up, it's because it was in the tank meta. Now it's assassins, and they're more susceptible to getting bursted.
So we'll see. We'll see exactly how this pans out. I want to know what Mirko and Naisu thinks about these two drafts. So we're going to head over to them right now. Boys, take it away.
Hey, thank you so much, guys, on the panel. Again, man, they got some long range there,
doing
right?
work.
With the Selena, with the Eve as well, they got so much poke. So honestly, they should be able to deal with, I don't know. The thing is, that's a super meta composition for Cambodia.
I'm posting up with you, man.
They got everything in the meta. They just, at this point, they're just posturing up. Let's see whether Colombia can actually beat the super meta composition as we get into the land of dawn for game number 1 of this best of 1. Cambodia versus Colombia. Taking a look at the emblems real quick. Whoa! Super confident lethal ignition from Maki God. Renmar did say,
Yeah.
if Colombia win in this game, it'll be back on the back of a Maki God performance, right? So lethal ignition makes sense. You gotta carry.
Go prime form at this point, you
Go
know?
God form.
The God form, prime form, whichever form, but hey, if those abyssal arrows are gonna land, we're gonna take a little breather while we get to talk about this, but you know what? If they land those abyssal arrows, it's over.
I like how you just laugh at the abyssal arrows, right? Because obviously it's a hard skill to hit, Naisu. It's super, super difficult. I don't know, when we saw the Selena pick too, we were just like, wow. We saw Selena come through, and man, against a Tigreal too, that Tigreal was just so, so perfect.
I think that's what you do, you know? If
Perfect
you're,
pick.
I think that's why the Tigreal went full tank emblem, man.
You gotta
You have
respect.
to.
You gotta respect the damage and the poke.
Because you might be just eating traps.
Yeah.
You might be eating arrows.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, you're gonna be pretty full.
Naisu, man. All right, looking at it again though, the fact that they have just so much shred against, I don't know. We saw this in the men's as well, right? We saw the Hilda go up against the Alpha, and it was just so difficult to deal with. You can't invade the Alpha in the early game.
can't.
You can't go and put pressure on the Alpha. The Alpha's actually just gonna melt you down super quick. And ladies and gentlemen, please be patient with us here.
Yeah.
We are gonna be trying to get this technical issue sorted as fast as possible. And on top of that, I feel like the carry pick is a bit strange in a way, right? Yuri,
Yeah.
Nakamaru, you're great for shredding in the tanks. I understand that Cambodia have a lot of beefy frontliners here, but the fact that you're still bringing up the Purify, there are layers on top of layers of CC. The Alpha, Moshi on the Hylos,
Yep.
Aurora, and even Tigreal, they all can layer their CC so well.
Well, we're back into the game already. And like we mentioned, you know, this is the thing. Revitalize is going to play a big part of this, as every match we've had so far, man. Because when you have that in your advantage, whether you're a Hilda, whether you're a Hylos, it helps you out so much in these little skirmishes. But the big standout is, again, how tanky, how beefy the lineup is of Cambodia on the front side. And I think that's why the carry was so important. Moshi? Okay, yeah, I forgot. This is the Revitalize Hylos.
Revitalize Hylos will be very, very beefy, man. Gets that healing as well. Prime Makigan actually is doing a very good job just scouting away at Cambodia. Really getting a lot of the pressure down. XP up top again. You can see that this Julian, at least Sagami, has a speed of alpha, forcing out the flicker early. And let's get back to that point, right? The fact that we see a Julian, it's been a long time since we've seen Julian, and I think it's just because of the clear speed nerf.
Yeah.
Your enhanced scythe has been nerfed, the passive damage just has been nerfed as well, so going up against someone like the Alpha who's just clearing the jungle so quick, you can definitely see that disadvantage start to play in for Talia. Still going up there. The reaction Spear of Alpha into their front, knowing that there's no more sword. Takami just gonna go slice and dice Talia. Still able to escape with the help of Prime Maki God as Leah pokes them down slowly but surely.
All right, a little, tough to get these things set up properly, especially, when you look at the lineup here for Colombia, you're playing around Abyssal Arrow. That's the most part. Now, if you're able to get enhanced chains or something off, then that's great. But ultimately, this is what you're looking at. There's these bodyguards front side from Cambodia, and if you're not landing them, you kind of have to just watch. And that's really difficult of a situation to be in. Eventually, you're just watching them take these objectives, and you don't want to let that continue to happen. So Cambodia, they'll play around that advantage.
And on top of that, Naisu, if you just take a look at exactly what happened earlier, is the fact that for Cambodia, they're playing their cards really, really well here. Takami, this game has gone for the Quantum Charge. Not something we usually see on the Alpha. Usually we see the Impure Rages. We see an Abyss our arrow actually hit, but it's again onto, real world manipulation from Leah.
Maybe that was
Zoning tool?
Yeah, I guess zoning, at that point, or trying to possibly set something up.
All right, so,
Tagami goes in. Enough with the Spear of Alpha. Leah could be in trouble. Gets cut off with the Glorious Pathway. So that's going to be a pickup here as Leah falls down. And, again, that's what we were wondering. Was that bottom initiation a setup, or was it possibly a misstep? But look at the attention happening here. Cross map on both sides now.
Yeah, pretty good trade on the board actually for Colombia. They noticed the fact that the bottom lane was actually just getting prioritized heavily by Cambodia. And again, it's great that just happened. Takami getting the kill over. So much more mobility with the Quantum Charge too. This is the optional choice you can go for if you're going for Alpha. If you know that you're going to out-sustain your opponents and just out-team by your opponents, go for the Quantum Charge. It's really, really good for sustain and mobility across the map, so you can look for more ganks. And you can already see this play dividends for Cambodia in the bottom lane. That's that's turret 1
already
at 3 minutes. It's really just the power of the Bruno, essentially, right? On top of that, you're already in a winning matchup against this carry.
Mirko, I was going to say, Bruno is typically known for being that hero to just demolish turrets, but already under that 4-minute mark, getting a turret this early on gives even more so of an advantage, even leading into this next objective, right? The second turn of the game, playing around that, and they'll go ahead and just kind of focus elsewhere. As you can see the swapping happening up. Yui Fendi going up top as well to go ahead and respond to Yuri. Right now, this turtle's going to be started up, and I think once again, we're going to have to see if Colombia can actually contest this. They get some vision. Going to look for that Tigreal here. They got to watch out for the implosion, but a fourth of the health on the turtle. It's going to be secured, though, by Tagami. But it's going to force the fight. The real world manipulation comes down. There's the implosion we were talking about. The knockup comes through as Prime Makigan is down, and Leah is going to be next. It's just too much crowd control coming out from Cambodia.
A 3-for-0 trade on top of that, a turtle as well. The timing and the zoning was just crisp, clean from Cambodia. And even here in the mid lane, we're seeing just exactly how, oh man.
Whoa, the Spear of Alpha is gonna bring her back.
Yikes.
Valu just taken with them. This is also gonna be a turret. They dodged that Abyssal Arrow, and this is an objective again for Cambodia.
As I'm saying, right, it just shows you how hard the Hilda is to play up against a very beefy lineup. There is literally no pressure you can exert. And that was just crazy. Cambodians went into the turret, went in and out. They might just be going for tier 2 with the Bruno. They already got a tier 1. Oh, she's walking up.
They're going to do it again. Leah in trouble here, trying to find a setup place. Flickers defensively, force the fight once again. Frigid Glacier is going to go in with a lockdown. Valu will be able to get a kill, and they return it back as the Tigreal finally falls too. But already Leah. Tagami getting more. Leah left in the whim all by herself. Nabi and Tagami on the chase, but Leah seems to be fine. The focus for now is going to be this tier 2 turret. Good push, though, on the bottom side from Talia.
Really good discipline here for Cambodia. They know that there's really no value in just chasing Leah down. She is 0-2 already. Might as well get a few more hits on this turret. Tier 2. The fact that it's already this low at the 6th minute of the game. If they were able to get that, that would have been a massive objective to take. But now, they can just play the slow game again. They already have an alpha that is currently 2 whole levels ahead of Talia. And on top of that, they just have so many ways to zone Talia away from the neutral objective. Meanwhile, for Colombia, this Hilda pick really hasn't been able to show much of that dominance that we are used to seeing, at least for the Hilda in the early game. And mainly, I would say that's due to just how many tanky members Cambodia have and just how much CC they have too, right? Whenever the Hilda walks up, you either get frozen by Nabi or you're too occupied by the 2 frontliners. And here, that zoning control from Moshi again for Eternal.
Yeah, once again, oh, Talia won't be able to get away. Trying to escape, but cut off and caught with the Spear of Alpha. Again, up top too, a little bit of focus here. Yui could be in trouble. Yui Fendi, 1 versus 2 will get trapped in the RWM, and finally it goes down. Colombia picking up a kill.
Good adaptations, honestly, for Colombia, knowing that there's absolutely no way you can actually contest with a neutral objective against a composition like this, who's just done so well in the early game. They went up top, going back to just how this composition should work, right? Targeting Bruno down. Hilda, great against a squishy target, great against a marksman, and obviously Leah with that poke, plus Primaki got on the Selena. It's literally built to go up against these squishy targets. And unfortunately for them, though, it's just Yui Fendi. And even if, say, they get that win condition in the next few team fights, what are they going to do about Nabi? Once they use all their resources.
Or Tagami.
Moshi, Tagami, Nabi. At this point, I would even say Tigreal would be able to get a 4-man combo and then maybe turn the tides around completely. Moshi's just walking up.
Talia, okay, I was making sure, you know, gonna have to use that enhanced sword to get out, but once again, it's just, I feel like when you're looking at this Colombia, it's like, where can they find that window of opportunity when, like you mentioned, you named all those possibilities off from Cambodia, like the implosions, even getting cut off with the glorious pathway. There's so many tools available to them, and that's why we see this often where you're forced off the objective. You're forced off these tier 2 turrets. Once again, they're gonna go for a push up top. Pistol arrow's gonna land, but again, this is a very tanky Moshi, and that tier 2 bottom side will go down. So all this playing its part, finally a turret. Tier 1 at the top does go down. Colombia gets a little bit of push. That might have been good for them again, dealing with this Lord coming up in about 10 seconds, but still, I think they're just outgunned here in terms of items and damage.
You can see just the frontliners eating all the Abyssal arrows. So literally, even if Prime Makigod has a pretty good accuracy rate on hitting on those Abyssal arrows, even here, Talia walking up, getting the enhanced chain. It's cool, it's good, but if it just lands on Moshi and these frontliners, it really won't provide any value.
I think even at this point, Miracle, like, this Tigreal is just literally eating the arrows on purpose. So is Moshi. Like, they are purposely walking in them, because also we saw some Radiant Armors picked up earlier too. So, you know, again, this is why our panel mentioned on how important some of those picks were when they did see that Selena picked up. And you know that there's a lot of magic damage here on the side of Colombia. So right now with the Lord in their favor, Cambodia will go ahead and prep things up, manage the waves to get pushing into the base.
It's going to be really, really tough, man. Yui Fendi, you can see the items here already. Berserker's Fury and the Haas Claws, essentially for the Bruno, that's all you need for your power spike. And I'd like to actually compliment her getting the Fury Hammer, so a bit more penetration. Doesn't need to go for the Melfic Roar, knows that she's super far ahead, just goes for the Fury Hammer so she can deal in a way just true damage to the squishies, right?
Yeah.
Mid lane Holy Defense probably will be propped here, and this is where it's going to be very scary for Colombia. The only clear they have as of right now would be Leah with the real world manipulation. I don't even think Yuri Nakamaru is in a position to clear out the Lord properly.
There's the shields.
Yeah.
Being popped already. Ice Beam 1 will help part of this, RWM doesn't have to be used just yet, but they might just try to keep it together for the base push. Lord is shortly going down here. The mid turret, though, still going to be worked on. They might force a fight. Cambodia might just take a discipline round. Right now, even with the lead that they have, taking things slow and steady.
Oh, this is nasty, nice. The fact that they're being so conservative with their skills, they're going to lose all of the base turrets.
Whoa, there you go. Tigreal with the setup with the implosion, the crash down. Good Frigid Glacier to stop them in their tracks, but Valu finally goes down in the last turret of the base, also falls. And now Cambodia looking for more here. Can they end the game under this? The turret's going to be worked on. The base is a little bit damaged, but they still have to clear out the waves for now. RWM jumps down, finds multiple members into the enhanced chain as well. They couldn't hope for a better setup. Tigreal finally gone down, but they're just outgunned and outmaneuvered as Cambodia will take the game in a decisive victory.
They were too conservative with their skills. They didn't want to use the skills to defend for the base turrets. But then you saw why they did that. They wanted to go for that big combo that possibly could turn the tide around. Unfortunately, they were just way too far behind to actually even battle it out, man. Getting a massive combo like that in any other game would have probably been a comeback angle. Would have probably been a one straight push angle, but they were not able to find that, unfortunately, for Colombia. Cambodia, at that point, were just too far ahead. 3 base turrets,
Yeah.
super minions crashing into the base, and the Bruno had full stacks.
Full stacks,
Half
man.
HP with 1 basic attack. Leah lost half with one basic attack.
One basic attack, not only that, and I know Bruno is a football player, but man, he had that Malefic gun, picked it up. She was able to damage from
I
a
agree.
safe point. And when it's that kind of damage, with the full stacks and everything else, that's really tough to deal with. And like I said, Mirko, you have this front line that is eating the arrows that almost pretty much negates the whole idea around picking up a Selena. You didn't get the early snowball you're looking for, and when you just have a Tigreal and a Hylos across from you eating arrows, what do you do from there? Well, how are you even able to follow things up?
It was a very risky play to go for the Selena. We were already talking about it. The panelists mentioned it as well. It was a big gamble that they were playing.